So let's clean up our workspace a little bit here. And we're going to talk about that one instance. And let's do it with one that's a little bit more fun than our typical. Let's say I have 3/5 m minus 2 is less than or equal to 14 thirds. Okay, and we'll say plus 4m. All right, this is one of our more complex inequalities, and we know that we can make it a little bit simpler by clearing the denominator. So we're going to multiply every term here by 15, and in case you're wondering why, because we have denominators of 5 and 3, and 15 will clear the denominators. That's not raised to the 15th power, that's just times 15, so let's make that clear. Okay, we do that. So over here, we cross this out, cross that out, we'll end up with a 3 here, we'll end up with 9m minus 2 times 15 is 30, less than or equal to, we have a 15 here, and a 5, that'll give us a 5, that'll give us 70, plus 4 times 15 is 60m. We'll move the m over here, well let's move the 30 first. Move the 30, add 30, plus 30, and this is good practice even for equations. Just bear with me here, and you're probably wondering, well, how is this any different? Looks like a regular problem to me, and in essence it is. So we're going to move the 60 to the other side, move the 60 to the other side, and we'll continue over here. We'll end up with 51. And I'll bet you were thinking it was going to be a nice even number. No, we don't do the even numbers. This is going to be a negative 50 here. And it's less than 100. And we have to divide by negative 51, divide by negative 51. And here is where it changes. When you multiply or divide by a negative number and you have an inequality, whether it's a greater than, less than, equal to, or less than, greater than, or greater than equal to, you have to flip the direction of the inequality. So we end up with this. M is greater than or equal to 100 over 51, and that's going to be a negative. Well, we'll put that negative up here instead. Let's do a little bit of erasing here. Get rid of this little guy here. And here's why. Now, it's a rule that you can memorize, but it's helpful to know why. So let's look here. We know that 7 is larger than 4, right? If I multiply both sides by negative 1, wait, let's cover this so that we know that this is our answer here. And negative 1, let's clean this up a little bit. Great thing about these whiteboards is they're just like regular whiteboards, and when we teachers make errors, we can just erase. Right? Negative 1, we have negative 7 and negative 4. Now we know that negative 7 is not greater than negative 4. So we have to change the direction. So this is just a small illustration as to why we change the direction. When you multiply by the negative number, if you add a larger quantity on this side, it's going to be a larger negative number. And relative to the other one, it's smaller in value. Okay? So when you multiply or divide by a negative number and you have an inequality, you change the direction. And that's essentially the only difference in solving inequalities and equations with one variable.